of the ARK stocks is on CNBC. Welcome back. My name is Matteo. Let's go and talk about Zoom, one of our holdings. So Zoom, look what Zoom video did, right? It had an all-time high of $588 per share. Now that was of course due to it benefiting from everyone being locked down and using Zoom. So when free money's pumped in the market, tech stocks, growth stocks, and especially pandemic winners would fly up, right? We saw that on Roku, which was another one we'll look at. We saw that on Zoom, Tesla, you name it. So what is Zoom doing today? Well, it hit a low of 65 just a few weeks ago. All right, $65 a share, $62 a share. And now we're back at 73 at the close. Now, as you can see here, we hit almost $80 after market because Zoom actually turned a profit on their earnings, right? They did better than expected, right? The estimated was a negative like 4-cent loss per share, and they actually came out with $1.22 per share. So I guess you can say Zoom is figuring out its place in the marketplace, but was it really ever going to go back to $588? Probably not. And if it did, they're going to have to pivot their viewpoint, right? Cathie Wood today said on CNBC that Zoom is going to be in the AI space. Now, that makes sense because they use video and they can use AI overlays, but is that really going to push Zoom back to the pandemic all-time highs? Highly doubt it. But one thing that we do know is that the ARK stock is down quite a bit from its all-time highs. And I mean, really, really bad. But let's look at the holdings inside ARK, right? ARK is Cathie Wood's innovation ETF, and she's been praised over it, right? But she's still praised even today, although it's down 76% from its all-time high. I don't know what fund manager would still be in business with that kind of track record, right? Yeah, you did like 100 and something percent on the way up, but then 70% on the way down, and you didn't sell anything, you just kept buying. So I think there's an issue there, especially with what might happen in the market going forward. So Tesla hit a low of $100, right? Cathie Wood still owned it, and she still owns it today. Hopefully she bought some around $100 and made a little money on this little $100 to $200 pop. Tesla was up again, 5.46% today, $10.75 on the day. Tesla tends to go the opposite direction of the market. Although the market was up today, the market did start to head down. Okay, so you can see that on the S&P 500. Let's pull that up. So that's two stocks that Cathie Wood held, Zoom and Tesla. Now, we're going to look at the SPY and the Qs just to kind of put this into perspective. We've been having a good run just recently from, December. We kind of hit lows again, tested the old lows. We tried to, and then we had a big run into February, okay, which is very typical, right, where January starts to run up, although this January of 22 went down because the market was just so overbought at that point. There was a need release pressure, right? Release valve, and the stock started selling off because we needed to release that pressure of just this straight up. I mean, when you see something like this, it can last quite a few months, but eventually it's going to snap, and it did. So we're about halfway through that cycle now. We hit this little pause area in 2020 where we hit 350, jumped off that and kept going for now. Now the next point of interest is that we might go down and touch 325, 330, 338. This area is right before the pandemic happened, and we could go test this area or even break it. So that's probably what's slated to happen between March and January. Let me zoom in. I know it's probably hard to see here, but this is the monthly chart. Let me back it up a little bit. This is where we kind of stopped recently in October, where we had the September little hiccup here in the 2020, and then it just took off again, where it retraced a little bit and ripped to the upside. Now we had this same thing. We had a retracement back to that level of 2020 in September, and then we hit 348, 350, and now we might have we had a big rip up, and we might have another retracement down to this level as well. So that's something to keep a sight of. How do I know that? Why am I thinking that? Well, this trend line has just recently been broken, but it's not showing any strength of really push out. We're kind of retracing this whole move that we made of January, because we went straight up in January and now we're kind of retracing what we did. So let's see if it can hold, right? I give it every bit of ability to, hopefully the market can go up, people can make money in their 401ks. But if it doesn't happen that way, then there's a way for you to take advantage of that, right? You can buy call options, you can buy puts and make money when the stock goes down. You can also sell covered calls if you own 100 shares of an individual stock. So it's important to own many shares of quality stocks so you can sell covered calls and become a landlord yourself. So the important thing here is to look at the weekly. We did have a cross on stochastic RSI. We're kind of actually crossing MACD. So this is very interesting. If this week ends down, now next week will probably be up. Why do I say that? Well, it's the beginning, it's the last couple days of February and the first couple days of March. Money moves around very frequently during those times. But what I'm saying is that we can't just have 10 weeks down, right? We're gonna have some white candles in here. So let's say we have a bad week this week. Everything ends crossed. We hit 390, 391 at the end of the week. This is going to cross stochastic RSI, MACD, and DMI. That is not good. That means the market can go down for weeks, okay? And we're heading into a seasonally slow and boring time, which is March, okay? March, April, and May, right? Sell in May, go away. So March, April, and May can be a slide in the market, if not a complete sell-off. I did see that happen during the pandemic, where March was pretty brutally sold off in tech stocks in 2020. Now that can happen again. It happened in 2021. It might happen in 2023. Let's see. Let's watch the charts and see what's going to happen. That's why it's so important to have the monthly, weekly, daily, and 233, which is equivalent to a 4-hour chart, as you see a lot of traders using. And this can kind of give you an idea. So as long as we're below the 50-day moving average, nothing good can happen on the half-day chart. But look, we're still above the 50-day moving average on SPY. We tested through it. We tested on it today. We're kind of sitting on it. Now let's see if we can hold the 50-day and rise up again, or if we're going to break through the 50-day, we're going to hit the 200 and we could break out from there and go lower. Now, right now we're really oversold. You can see on the daily, stochastic RSI is no longer above 80 as it was February 3rd. It's towards the end of the month now. It's February 27th, and stochastic RSI is below 20. So that tells you, as an investor, hey, we might bounce soon. And the half-day chart, the histograms are getting smaller, and we're getting towards this trend line. We might bounce around this level or before it. So just be prepared. The market's not going to go straight up, straight down. You have to catch little chunks in the middle on its journey up or down. So I appreciate you guys joining today. I just wanted to bring up Cathie Wood and how right she's been, but also how wrong she's been. And maybe some could say she's a bag holder because she wanted to be the queen of the future, queen of the futuristic future, right? She's talking today AI. She's talking self-driving cars. And she's touting that the recall on Tesla was just an over-air update. Well, I got news for you. These are all technologies that are going to take the world by storm, but it's not going to happen overnight like she promises her investors. So that's where I want you guys to think for yourself. Look at the charts, understand where ARKK is going, and don't jump in too early. Don't listen to the fund manager that was wrong all these years from 2021 to now, where the stock went straight down. Check ARKK and tell me if you would invest in that. Comment down below. So thank you guys for joining. Appreciate your time. Like always, please like and subscribe, and let's end this year positive. Peace.